if you are waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning, it can literally only mean 2 things, guys. Here's the first thing. The first thing is that what wakes you up is the hormone cortisol. So the 2 biggest things that will mess up your cortisol are going to be sugar and it's going to be stress. Those are the biggest things that mess up your cortisol regulation. When you have a cortisol awakening response is what it's called, cortisol will start to elevate in your body. And it's supposed to, if you have a normal circadian rhythm, it's supposed to elevate to a point where it wakes you up at about 6 o'clock in the morning. Now, some people that can't get out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning, they don't feel like they've woken up until 8 or 9. And that's and the reason why is because they've shifted their whole cortisol rhythm forward about 2 or 3 hours. It's supposed to go down to its lowest levels at 10 o'clock at night. So a lot of people, though, they wake up at 2 to 3 in the morning and can't figure out why. No, I'm not talking about I need to go to the bathroom. I'm talking about I wake up. Well, you're seeing an elevation of cortisol at that point. So the first thing you have to look at is poor blood sugar control. Because if you have poor blood sugar control, you're getting a spike in cortisol and it's waking you up. And that's why a lot of people get a spike in cortisol 2, 3 in the morning. Innately, they kind of figure it out. They're like, yeah, if I go downstairs and I have a cookie or I have a couple slices of bread or have a sandwich, I fall right back to sleep. Other thing too is it can come down to mental stress. So a lot of people just can't shut off the mental stress. So they are worried, they have anxiety about the future. And so they typically don't get any kind of restorative sleep and they're waking up 2 o'clock in the morning. They're up for 2 hours. They may drift back to sleep, but they're not getting good, deep restorative sleep. And everybody thinks, oh, it must be melatonin. I need to take melatonin. Melatonin is not your sleep hormone. It's your repair hormone. So if you aren't getting enough sleep, yeah, you may need to take melatonin, but that's not going to help your sleep per se. Even sometimes we'll have people override it as much as possible. And that's why things like some natural sedatives can work. So things like California poppy have been a lifesaver for people. Bacopa has been a lifesaver for people. Kava for some people has been a lifesaver. Another one that can really work well is L-theanine. That can also work well as far as calming down the brain because it influences the production of gamma aminobutyric acid, which is a calming inhibitory neurotransmitter in the brain. You always have to get to the reason why, but there are some things that you can take to help you get out of the situation, because sometimes you do need to take some things. Otherwise, then you're just continue to dig yourself in a hole and you don't get any kind of restorative sleep.